Good morning, Anchorage, Alaska, the lower 48 and the rest of the world. Bruce Lindquist with his podcast, Wonderful Counselor. We are in Chapter 5 of The Case of the Missing Shoe, and it's titled Dead Man Tells No Tales. If you've been listening to this podcast, you have been waiting with bated breath to determine what happens to our 12-year-old heroine, Bella, the protagonist of our story. To bring you up to date, Bella tried to save her friend and ended up trading places with her. She is now tied by ropes to a chair, to a mysterious machine in front of her that has some kind of cyber locking mechanism. All Bella has to do is to figure out the cipher, but this is proving quite difficult. And her kidnappers have informed her that when they get back, they plan to take her to the mortuary crematorium, put her on a metal sheet, watch the fire burn her hair and her face melt before her entire body is reduced to ashes. Bella knows they're not bluffing. She witnessed a young woman's body go through this torturous process and listened to her scream in a previous episode. Bella's been pursuing this collector, a serial killer whose trophies are young women's shoes. The collector's already attempted to kill her once, and it was a miracle she survived being poisoned. We now join Bella tied to the chair. Bella, tearfully but determined, stared straight ahead into a cavern-like darkness. She could see through the luminous cipher symbols floating like ghosts in the stale air. Thoughts crawled up from the corner of her mind. Figure it out or die. She then noticed her feet touch something other than the floor. She positioned her legs in such a way as that the box gave her enough rope to pick the object up with her feet. She could tell it was some sort of a small ball. Bella knew it was not there without a purpose, and the childlike voice she'd heard previously must have put it there for some reason. Then a strange thought came to her. Toss the ball into the dark. Bella thought to herself she really must be getting desperate, but the feelings and thoughts would not go away, and she sensed maybe it was the Holy Spirit lighting her path a step at a time. Bella tossed the ball with her legs and heard it bounce as it hit the floor, and then something completely unexpected happened. It landed on a table and bumped into another machine, and a laptop computer and screen lit up. Bella stared at the keyboard. It had the same symbols as the cipher lock. She was able to translate simple characters into corresponding numbers on the keys, and with her feet pushed the buttons on the lock to match the number codes, and it opened. The ropes released, and she was free. She did not have much time, as she would have loved to have searched for clues about who the collector or collectors are. She traced her way through the darkness of the room until she felt a handle and opened the door to the coolness of the night, early morning air. She started running down the road, but realized even though it would be harder to navigate being in the trees, it was safer, as she'd be like a sitting duck out in the open, as the full moon had just broke through the clouds and illuminated the road. She got into the wooded area just in time, as car headlights cut through the night. She could not see who they were, but watched the car park at the building where she previously was being held captive. Bella soon found the strategic advantage of being a shadow walker, as they concealed her from being seen. She did not stop running, using the dark houses as a place to rest as she caught her breath. It took her hours, but she made her way down the hillside above the city to the area around the college campus. Bella crawled alongside the walls, ducked between the bushes as she edged closer to the hospital entrance. Bella walked through the main door and saw the security guard, which was the one she eluded many hours ago. This time she needed to be seen, and asked him, has he been looking for her? The young guard had relief written all over his face and escorted Bella back to her hospital room. Kim, her mother, was bent over in prayer, and when she heard her daughter's voice, initially there were tears of joy that ran down her face. Kim hugged her daughter and then in anger said she was thinking of homeschooling her and locking her in a closet until she was 18. Bella returned the embrace, saying, I'm sorry I've scared you, Mom, but what seems reckless to you is necessary to save my friend." The nurses came in, and Bella returned into her hospital gown and was hooked back up to an IV she previously unhooked herself from. The doctor came in and was also relieved, but informed Bella the test results had come back. She still had not cleared the medicine to dilute the poison yet. Bella had been running on sheer adrenaline. Then she collapsed on the bed as her head hit the pillow. Bella awoke, no idea how long she'd been sleeping. Minutes, perhaps? Could have been days. It turned out she slept 2 full days. She might have slept 3 days, but the sound of the ambulance was like an alarm clock that woke her. Bella seemed to have lost her sense of time, as the next thing she remembers is her mother running in saying, "Dr. Foreman was shot and is in critical condition." Bella and her mom prayed, and it seemed like forever, but the doctor informed Bella Dr. Foreman was going to live. Bella's lab tests were reaccomplished, and Bella was cleared to leave the hospital. She went right over to Dr. Foreman's hospital room, and with her mom, and she watched her, Dr. Foreman, who was fast asleep. Bella waited for her to wake up, and Dr. Foreman gave her a weak smile and said in a whisper-like voice, "We got the SOB." Bella had lots of questions, and when Dr. Foreman was able to recover, she explained how the events unfolded. "I met with all the suspects. I asked each of them 3 questions. Some wanted a lawyer first, others were evasive, but eventually they all answered them. It could have been any of them, but after asking the suspect the question about the mother and the sister, I could tell it was him. It was just a matter of dropping out of sight and following him back to the crematorium. Unfortunately, he saw me, and he shot and killed the young police officer that accompanied me, and then he shot me. I remember firing 1 shot from my gun, hoping to be lucky that it would hit its target, and it did. When the other officers arrived, they found me and the other dead officer, and the man who was the collector, dead." "I'm so glad you're okay," said Bella. A few days later, Bella was able to lead the police and Dr. Foreman to the cabin she was being held at. She had left essentially a trail to where X marked the spot when she escaped earlier. In the cabin were several of the dead women's tennis shoes, and Bella knew for sure Devin Sumner was the collector. Dr. Foreman said, "Well, you were right, Bella. Unfortunately, we will not know why that he did what he did, because dead men tell no tales." "Well, at least you're safe," said Bella. "And you, Bella, are a hero," said Dr. Foreman. The city of Anchorage gave Bella the keys to the city, as the mayor thanked her for solving the murder mystery, as the young girls and women of Anchorage, Alaska, all breathed a breath of relief. Bella's school held an assembly where the school principal and all the faculty honored Bella's bravery, being willing to substitute her life for her friends. Bella's mom and dad said they were proud of her, and her mom added, "If you ever do such a thing again, I'm locking you in your closet. I will feed you meals and give you bathroom breaks, and you will not ever let you out of the house." The next day was Saturday, and Dr. Foreman knocked on Bella's door. Bella's mom answered the door more like a sentry or a mama bear instead of giving a welcoming greeting. Dr. Foreman explained her time in Alaska had concluded, and now she was on an assignment to Hawaii. "Tough duty," said Bella. Carrie, Dr. Foreman's first name, shared with Bella that she thought she would make a great forensic psychologist. And Bella said, "Maybe. I have a lot of growing up to do. And I need to be on my best behavior so my mom does not lock me in my room until I'm old and gray." Carrie laughed. "I know it's been rough, but you're the bravest girl I've ever met," and hugged her. Bella returned the embrace and said after her mom left the room, with a twinkle in her eye and a mischievous smile, "If you ever need help, call me." And Carrie gave an affirming glance as if to say, "I will." That night Bella slept. No nightmares, no bloody ink-dropping ciphers dripping on the walls, or paper stuck in her throat with poisonous writing. No more chasing phantoms, no more dead bodies. Bella felt at peace and thanked the Holy Spirit for all the strength to help end the reign of terror from the collector. Bella woke up the next morning and did a cat-like stretch, jumped off her bed, feet hitting the floor, excited to see what the new day would bring. Bella started to brush her teeth and glanced at the mirror, and then her toothbrush fell out of her hands into the sink. Bella was locked on the mirror. What she was seeing could not be there, but there it was, dripping in blood were numbers. Bella realized it was not a cipher, it was a local 907 number. She knew this number and dialed it. Whose blood do you think's on the mirror? Who did Bella call? Why did not the story end here? Could Bella have been wrong? If so, who was the collector? These answers and more will be revealed in the terrifying conclusion of episode 6, The Case of the Missing Shoe, the collector's identity revealed.